Hello and welcome to Bilalism, guys. This is our World Cup series, and today we're covering Pakistan versus Sri Lanka game, which just concluded. As you know, Pakistan ended up winning the game. It was an exciting match. At midpoint, I don't think anybody gave Pakistan a chance except Shane Watson, and because Shane Watson did, so did Ramiz Raja. Um, but yeah, it was exciting. I think today was the first real game where Pakistan now finally know the taste of playing a World Cup match in India, the pressure that comes with it. I think they're very lucky. At the same time, they deserve to be on the winning side with the, going by the way they batted. So very, very exciting. No doubt about that. And what I wanted to cover real quick was just let's just take a look at the scores, see what happened. Sri Lanka scored 344 runs in their 50 overs for 9 wickets at the run rate of 6.88. Pakistan needed to chase that down, and Pakistan did chase it down in 48.2 overs for the loss of 4 wickets. And if we were to look at the Pakistani inning, we'll see that in the end, the heroes of the inning were Abdullah Shafiq and Mohammad Rizwan. Mohammad Rizwan lately has been in incredible form in ODIs, and he just keeps proving why he's such an asset. As far as Sri Lanka is concerned, we know their main stars. Mendes was unbelievable. I think Pakistan was pretty lucky to get Mendes out when we got him out. Hasan Ali, I thought was pick of the bowlers. The sad thing about games like these and pitches like these is he's no one really is going to give him credit or enough credit for what he did today. I don't think without him, Pakistan would have been chasing 344. I think it easily could have been 388. He got Mendes out when Mendes was at his best. He was connecting so easily, and every single shot that he was trying was going over the boundary. To try a slower ball at that time, to have the nerve of steel, to say, you know what, he just hit me for 2 sixes, I'm going to still try a slower ball, and to then for Imam to take that catch. The catch I thought was a little bit overrated. I mean, it was good catch, but at the same time, the credit should, in my opinion, go to the bowler. The fact that he pitched it up and he still didn't allow such a set batsman to clear the boundary is kudos to Hasan Ali and his effort. And, I still remember when he dropped that catch in the World Cup 2 years ago. We made so much fun of him. We turned him into a clown, everybody. But look at this guy, He's always smiling. He's such a professional. He doesn't think he deserves to be in the team. He's not entitled. He works hard. He never gives up. And as soon as he got his chance back, he is bowling as an opening bowler, as if he is the leader of the pack. Out of nowhere, he was not even in contention of the first 6 bowlers that anyone would have thought of that would play in the World Cup for Pakistan. He was not even in the top 6. The 7th guy, only by luck, comes in, and now he is the best bowler, at least with the new ball. Shaheen's all over the place. Haris has no idea what he's doing right now on these pitches. I don't know if this is a reflection on Morne Morkel, because I thought these bowlers were bowling much better with Sean Tate, but at the same time, those were different conditions, right? And that was a different format. So maybe the 4 overs suit these guys a little bit better, where they have enough of a variety to confuse people. But coming back to how to bowl in these conditions, they really have to stick to wicket line. This approach they have right now is just not going to cut it, and we can see that they're struggling. I mean, you talk about Shaheen. He's supposed to be the leader of the pack. He's not leader of the pack right now. He's a liability. I was scared watching him today. Okay, how many runs is he going to go for now? Every single ball was outside off stump wide, and on pitches like this, which aren't very fast off the bounce, you can pretty much cut even a short of length delivery if it's wide. You cannot give width. These are basics of bowling on these pitches, and the same applies to Haris Rauf. I don't think Haris Rauf uses his bouncer enough. I don't think Haris Rauf bowls straight enough, wicket to wicket, on these pitches. I don't think Haris Rauf uses a slower ball enough in these conditions. This is where you use slower balls. He needs to think of all of his spells like short T20 spells, but they're 4 overs long. He needs to start thinking like that, or I don't think Pakistan's going to go anywhere. Because even, yeah, we won today, which is fantastic, but I think you're not going to go too far with this kind of approach. The only guy that understands this is Hasan Ali, but obviously he's not as fast as those guys. So even if he's bowling well, some batsmen will be able to pick him up through the line and drive him and pull him and cut him and glance him, or even ramp him, right? Because the pace is not there, so they can take that extra risk, which they can't when the pace is up in the 140s. So incredible amount of inconsistency from the seamers today, except Hasan Ali. Hasan Ali did well, but there were moments when he also did not do well. One example of that I can show you right now is in one of his overs when he had already taken, I think, 3 wickets. He came back and look at the field that was set for him, right? So you see there's a long on, there's a deep mid wicket, there's a deep square leg. And on the other side, there is third man and there is deep point. So what you expect him to bowl here is something that's short of length, stump to stump, right? Or he can go wide, but the length cannot be full. Because if the length is going to be full, this area is going to get exposed. So Hasan Ali runs in. He's bowling well. Look, he's taken 3 wickets already, right? But just look at what he bowls, right? I can't quite play this video. I'm not allowed to. So I'm going to take it frame by frame as much as I can. So here's Hasan Ali running in. He gets into his action. And look at the line. So at this point now, if this is going to be short of length, maybe he'll get away because he has fielders set at deep point and third man to stop the cut shot from going to the boundary. Okay, line is okay. Acceptable. Not great, acceptable. But what it is it's basically a full toss. It's a full toss, and the batsman simply takes his foot out, and he is pretty set already too. So it's basically just batting practice for him at this point. And he drives him through covers in the only gap available in the ground, and the ball goes to the boundary. And this is what I mean, right? This is not going to work against good teams. They are going to be relentless. If they know that you are this immature in understanding how to bowl on these pitches, you're going to get murdered on those pitches. And they're going to be relentless. Once they smell that you don't know what you're doing, you're done. So yes, pace can hide a lot of your faults. When you're running with a new ball, you're getting some natural swing, in swing, out swing, whatever it is that these bowlers do. That's good. That's threatening. But that does not mean that these bowlers have the smarts to understand how to bowl on these pitches. And someone really needs to sit down with them and just talk bowling. That, okay, if this was the situation, how would you bowl? If that's the condition, how would you bowl? If this is the pitch, what's your approach? And the answer is not, though, yeah, I'm going to mix up slower balls with bouncers. No. What are you thinking, right? And why? What is the feel that you would want? Babar can't just set fields only to watch these guys not follow the plan, right? There needs to be a lot more to it. So the next person that I think we need to talk about here is going to be the vice captain of the team. Shut up. I don't know what's going on with him. He did not know what he was doing today either. And this is not the first time that I've seen him go through this in ODIs. I don't know if it's the fact that he's played so much T20 cricket. He even played in the major league in the US. I followed him. So I don't know if it's fatigue, if it's lack of ODI talent, or that he's not a genuine spinner. So whatever talent he has, he tries to use it to the best of his potential, to the best of his ability. I don't know. Those answers need to be, put forward to Babar over time by people that are in the right positions to ask these questions. But right now, to me, for him to not understand what he had to do, which was so simple, right? First of all, if the pitch is this flat, you got to bowl slower. Okay, fine. You don't want to bowl slow. That's not your style. Okay, that's fine. Now figure out if you're getting turn or not. If you are getting turn, you have to make sure the ball does not end up outside off stump. If you look at any of the games from the past, in the early 2000s, in the 90s, or late 90s, when aggression had kicked into cricket, whenever spinners bowl in these conditions that are not where the bounce isn't crazy high and the pace isn't too much off the bounce, but conditions are flat, meaning there's no lateral movement per se, batsmen can cut even good length deliveries. In order for you to cut the ball, you have to make some room, right? So what Shadab was doing was that he was producing enough turn for the batsman to get enough room because of the length that he was bowling. If he had been slightly fuller, the same ball wouldn't have ended up outside the stumps. It would have ended up within the stumps or hitting off. But his length was wrong, and he just couldn't figure it out. He just could not figure this out all game, entire inning. Nobody was able to talk to him. There's a bowling coach, there's a head coach, there's a team director. What are they doing? What kind of conversations are taking place? And it would be one thing that I'm confident that no one's talking to him about this, because I didn't see him even bowl that ball once. Even Iftikhar looked like a better bowler than him and Nawaz both. Same with Nawaz, right? I mean, you talk about Nawaz, he has his own stuff going on. I don't understand how Nawaz is considered a spinner if he can't turn the ball. He doesn't turn the ball. He literally just comes in and bowls arm balls after arm balls after arm balls. If you are a good sweeper, Nawaz is done. He can't do anything on these pitches. There's no extra bounce that sweeping is going to give him a top edge unless he produces turn off the pitch, which, in my opinion, every bowler should be able to produce turn, some amount of turn. You have to put doubt in if you're playing at that level and you can't turn the ball, you're not a spinner. So in my opinion, he's just basically a medium pacer. And this is where Imad Wasim becomes a better bowler than him, because Imad Wasim, one, he can bowl with the new ball. Shaheen doesn't work, you have a backup option. Two, Imad Wasim can actually swing the ball. He doesn't turn the ball either too much, but he can actually swing the ball. His arm ball swings into the righty. So that adds another dimension to your bowling lineup. If there's a lefty on strike, the ball goes across him. So he almost becomes a very slow medium pacer bowling who on occasion can turn the ball too. And he's much smarter mentally than Nawaz is in terms of understanding game situations and how to take the game forward. But anyway, these are issues that Babar needs to think about, and he really, really needs to work on, sit down and understand this stuff. Babar himself is obviously a young guy. They've played limited cricket. It's not their fault that cricket is only now being played in their home conditions against international teams. And even then, international teams don't send their best teams. So I understand the limited knowledge base that they have. But they just have to figure this out. They're playing a World Cup for their country. Everybody's there with their best squads. Everybody's thought about this stuff for years. What were these guys doing all this time? Right? This is where people like Mickey Arthur come in. The coach comes in. Morny Morkel comes in. Either the message is not getting delivered properly, or these guys, at this point, they are a bit of stars, so they're not taking in the knowledge. I don't know what is happening, but this stuff needs to be figured out, because clearly the batting is in pretty good place, right? The batting is producing amazing results. This is no joke. Chasing these runs down is no joke. It takes temperament, it takes class, it takes focus, and it takes vision. And all this time we kept thinking that bowling was our main strength, but clearly it is our batting. And it is high time that Babar sits down and figures out what's actually happening with the bowlers and take personal interest in how bowling can be made better. Not just as a captain, but try to think like a bowler. And maybe it's time to have Shaheen as vice captain, because he's a bowler. He may have a better understanding of what needs to be done. Pakistan's gifted with a lot of leaders in the team. And speaking of leaders, you can't look past Rizwan. What an amazing silent leader he has been. And I'm using this term because recently I've heard one of my friends use this term for him, and it's true. He is a silent leader. He doesn't need to be a captain, but he leads. He knew that Babar was gone. He knew that Imam was gone, two of the highest averaging ODI players we have. But he stood up, and he stood up with a guy that was making his World Cup debut in Abdullah Shafiq. He helped him get to his 100. Then Rizwan got his own 100. Oh, what a man. What a man for any team to have. Chasing 345, the highest ever ODI total to be chased down in a World Cup match. Kudos to see that come from a team that typically is not considered a very good chasing team. I think this team is changing all those assumptions that people used to have about the Pakistani team. And there was still some depth in batting left. But honestly, I would be okay if one of Shadab or Nawaz gets dropped for a genuine spinner and Osama Mir to come in, who actually turns the ball, who bowls slow. He's going to ask questions of the batsman, and he's going to only focus on being a bowler. I am okay with losing a batsman in Nawaz or Shadab. I would love to see Osama Mir in this team. I think Pakistan's chances of succeeding overall would go way up with one more genuine spinner in the mix. The rest of the team looks good. I am very, very happy for Hasan Ali. I really hope Babar figures out the rest. But guys, this was an amazing win. It's great to be number 2 on the board. As I said in my previous video, we need about 5 to 6 wins to make it to the semis. We have 2 now, so 4 or 5 more to go. Not a bad start at all. And this was a very hard game, right? Hard win. Just like the game we lost to Sri Lanka in Asia Cup was a hard loss, but it was a good loss in the sense that you get to experience a lot of emotions. You go through it and you realize, okay, I can experience it, I can tolerate it and still perform. And Pakistan almost ended up on the right side in that game. Today, I think those experiences have helped. They easily finished the game off in the end. And I think everybody's going to give credit to Rizwan, which I would too. But I don't think we should forget about Hasan Ali's contribution to this squad at this moment when nobody else is performing. The guy has come in and, he's putting everything on the line. So for today, guys, this is it. Please do not forget to subscribe and like. Liking videos really help categorize this video overall. And subscriptions, obviously, whenever we add exciting content, you're going to get notification. So you guys take care. Next game is huge against India. I think this game's performance is going to help Pakistan. I'm going to speak to you guys when we play India. You guys take care.